What's up, Flight Simmers? It's time for more Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates. Got some aircraft, some software updates, some new tools coming to the sim. I can't do it. All right, guys, you know what time it is. Like I said, it is time for Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates, so stick around because I got stuff that you guys are going to want to hear. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. All right, so first up, you guys, I did want to give a big shout out to all those who have started using the shop. It really does help me out here on the channel, but I want to remind those of you who don't know. As you guys know, for a long time, I've been making tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Here they all are, and for the longest time, you had to be a tier 2 subscriber of Patreon or above in order to purchase them. Now, that's still the best way, because for $10 a month or more, you get all of the guides. But if you choose that you do not want to do subscription based, you can simply come to the Patreon link that's down the description, click on the shop tab here, and then select the guide you wish and buy them one at a time. No subscriptions required, nothing like that. It's a one-time purchase, done and out. So want to let you guys know about that. Let's get to the Microsoft Flight Simulator news. All right, so first up, if you guys were unaware, Chaseplane, the very popular and incredibly powerful new camera system that is available from Parallel 42, is now available to everyone. So you can now go to Parallel 42's website and you can purchase Chaseplane. Chaseplane has been designed to go above and beyond the default camera system, which it does by far. One of the big things that really stands out for me is the flyby camera. Now there's now a flyby camera in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you use Chaseplane, it is fantastic. You are no longer limited to the 10 views that you were allowed to make before. Using the Alt 1 through 0, you were allowed to create custom views, but you only were allowed to have 10 of them. Now you can literally go just about as many as you choose, and you also have a nice tablet system that you can use as well. Key binding has never been easier. You simply click on a button, hit edit. Right, as you're watching here, you assign the title, assign your keybind position, and you're done and out the door. So it really makes things significantly easier. You can have steady or action cameras as well. Steady being exactly what it sounds like, a steady, unmoving camera. Action would be things like introducing physics and things like that. As the plane rolls, the camera will move, etc. You know, things of that. They have really done an absolutely fantastic job. You also have the ability to save all of your camera profiles up to the cloud. This was going to be a charge. It no longer is. It now comes default with the software. But you don't have to use it if you choose not to. But that means if you were to ever remove the software and reinstall it later on, maybe a new machine, new computer, whatever it may be, your camera views will be saved. One of the biggest things that I particularly enjoy is that almost all of the aircraft within inside of the simulator that I have used to date already come with preloaded camera views that are dead on and very effective. But making them editing them is absolutely a breeze. Like, it really just doesn't take much. $30 US for the Chaseplane, you guys, and it is absolutely worth every penny of it. I swear to you it is. Once you get used to it and get comfortable with it and assign your own keybinds, you will have a fantastic view. Big features here. Custom views, as we just talked about, you can create your own views. A cinematic mode. Activate cinematic modes with a single click and enjoy the show. Or if the aircraft, for example, is at cruise for X amount of time, it will go into a cinematic mode. The flyby mode, as we just talked about, if any of those of you who have played DCS, you know that you hit that flyby button like 100 times, just like I do. Flyby mode is now available inside the sim. You have a tower camera. You can fun way to do your approaches or even try to land it, which I have done while monitoring your aircraft from the tower. Really cool feature, a lot of fun, but it makes the replays absolutely a joy. Physics-based camera motion, as we just talked about, for those action shots or those cockpit bounces and things like that that you may want. Community integration. You can share your cameras, you can download cameras, etc., that were created by others, or again share them out yourselves. And then, as we talked about, the big key feature is the cloud backup. If you were to ever to lose all of your camera settings, simply pull them down from the cloud, and you're done and ready to roll. Again, an absolutely amazing product in my humble opinion, and they've done some amazing products. Parallel 42's best by far. So again, this is Chase Plane, you guys, available on the Parallel 42 website. $30 US, one and done, no subscription, nothing like that. Buy it, it's yours, enjoy it, use it. I promise you'll love it till the end of time. Next up, the PMDG FSS 200ER for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. The NDA has been lifted. You guys can see a ton of trailers and reviews from a few specific content creators. Unfortunately, yours truly didn't make that cut this time. Hopefully next time I'll match up to the requirements. But the 200ER obviously is still 200 extended range, but a smaller version of the 777. So all I can tell you guys is a few things that I'm going to throw out about the 777. The 777 is probably my favorite aircraft in the sim right now when it comes to commercial use, with the 737 trailing right on its tails. Now, this is not an Airbus versus Boeing battle that I'm trying to get into here. That's not my point. I'm talking about the quality, the feel, the just overall enjoyment of the flow and the process of starting the 777 and flying the 777, the features that it has available in it, that sort of integration between modern and sort of more of an analog feel to it. You've got the touch screens, you've got the ease of access to that kind of material. At the same token, the 777 still is a Boeing, so you still have a lot of those analog gauges and switches and things up top. It's sort of that mid-range between, like, for example, the 737 and the Airbus, where people will call the Airbus a flying computer, which essentially they are. But it's a really nice blend. It's a fun aircraft to fly. It's very, very big. It's I don't do the long hauls because as a content creator, I feel like that's a bit tough to do. I mean, you're missing 90% of the video as we're cruising anyway. So I like to do the start to finish. So I fly some pretty unrealistic flights with it. I'll typically go somewhere from Los Angeles, maybe up into Washington or something like that. I don't fly too far with it, but absolute dream to fly. So the beautiful part about the 200 is you still get all those amazing performance features of the PMDG 777, but it's a smaller aircraft. But you do have the ability to go, transatlantic, transoceanic flights if you choose with the 200ER. Really, really awesome product. Very, very recommended. Keep in mind now that means we have the 777-300ER, we have the 777 Freighter, and then soon to be released the 777-200ER. Now, I do not remember if we have an actual release date of this aircraft. So they will both be released. We are looking for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024 simultaneously between Tuesday, April 29th, 2025 and Thursday, May 1st, 2025. So this week we should see it. I mean, there's no answer about it based on this. It sounds like we're going to see it. The other thing is to remember that you now have PMDG Operations Center version 3, which this aircraft will be able to be downloaded directly from. So they're starting to step away from that whole download the aircraft, then manage it from the Ops Center. So now you'll have the Ops Center, which will be able to do both processes. I think the 777 is the first aircraft in the lineup to come to the V3 Ops Center, and then after that, the other aircraft will start to trickle in. So the goal is that they are trying to step completely away from the downloading your aircraft from the website, and you'll be able to do everything from Ops Center. So make sure that you download Ops Center V3. All right. So awesome job, PMDG. Can't wait to get it on this channel. I absolutely love the 777. It's a fun aircraft to fly. Definitely recommend it if you guys are interested in commercial flight. Next up, LatinVFR has announced the release of the A330-300 in the InSim marketplace for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. This is a recreation of the medium-haul wide-body airliner from Airbus. The LatinVFR Airbus A330-300 features customized avionics for your day-to-day cockpit functionality, including lateral and vertical autopilot navigation, full ILS auto land, and advanced route programming with RNAV approaches planned for a future update but not currently available. It offers optional simplified legacy avionics as well. The aircraft includes detailed exterior and cabin models, accurate engine variants, so General Electric, Rolls-Royce, and Pratt & Whitney, and automated cabin announcements based on the phases of flight. Now, here's something that I always like to point out when it comes to LatinVFR, and again, I love that this comes from them. They're sort of meant to be a mid-tier aircraft, if you will. Okay, they're not supposed to be as simple and plain as the default commercial aircraft, but not quite as advanced, say, like the Phoenix A320. Okay, so they're supposed to be sort of something that, you know, every simmer should find a little bit of enjoyment out of. So the highlighted features, obviously the EFB supports the SimBrief integration, Navigraph charts, but a subscription is required for Navigraph charts. Guys, I had someone comment on that in the last video that they were upset. Navigraph, yes, SimBrief is owned by Navigraph now, but they are still two separate entities is the way you got to look at it in your mind. SimBrief free, but even with SimBrief, if you want the latest air rack cycle, so the most up-to-date air data and routes, you still have to have that Navigraph subscription. It's been like that for years, as long as I can remember. But Navigraph charts does require the subscription in order to take advantage of. The FB also functions or has ground service functionality along with realistic flight dynamics for the aircraft, fuel management systems, authentic sounds, and it comes with 43 airline liveries pre-installed. That's quite the haul of liveries. So a highlight on the LatinVFR A330: customized systems, basic to mid customized avionics, like we were just talking about. With expanded functionalities, lateral and vertical autopilot with realistic navigation, ability to fly pilot selected holds, missed approaches, advanced route programming, flight management, full ILS auto land capabilities, among other customized features. Pending an RNAV approaches for a future update. GPS approaches can be flown. You just have to manage your altitude. Optional legacy avionics for more simple and basic flying. So they're sort of really balancing between that, again, that Phoenix level and sort of, you know, the more easier tier if you're just sort of wanting to enjoy the flight. Cabin announcements, detailed externals and interiors, the 3 engine variants, the simulation of auto transfer of the trim tanks. Cool, but I don't know, not crucial to me, but fair enough. They mentioned it, so I'll mention it. Cabin model with business class and premium economy and economy seats and galleys. The 43 liveries. Excellent flight dynamics that resemble the Airbus A330-300 characteristics, power management, and fuel systems, etc. The EFB, as we just talked about. Charts and SimBrief integration. And realistic sounds. So I would say this is one of their more detailed releases, is what it sounded like. They definitely got my attention with this one. I'm very curious about this one. But what I have failed to see in this particular announcement is any indication of how much. But I guess you'd have to go to the Microsoft Marketplace in order to find it anyway. So if you guys are interested in this, make sure you guys go check it out in the InSim Marketplace. All right, another big release out of Microsoft Flight Simulator for 2020 and 2024 is City Update 10 for the United States. And let's go to the notes here for this one. This covers Dallas, Fort Worth, Denver, San Francisco, and Honolulu. I wonder why they put Dallas, city. I'm a moron. Dallas, Fort Worth, Denver, San Francisco, and Honolulu. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there. The new update, obviously, is free, as all of the world and city updates. You do have to go to the marketplace in order to grab them and download them. Plus, it comes with all new digital elevation models, also triangulated irregular network, or TIN, surface texturing. All in all, the cities will be more lifelike than ever in the simulator, and you can see the work in action on the screen behind you. So they've really done a really good job, and it's nice to see. It's so nice to see so much of the texture melting is finally starting to be addressed. Hey, Mike Asobo, Tucson. I mean, we have Pima Air Museum. We have the storage yard. Come on, the sky is calling. It is. I don't usually answer it. It doesn't really say much. It sort of sits there. It's really awkward silence, actually. Anyways, City Update 10 Marketplace. Make sure you guys check it out. Next up and final on the list, Flight Sim Studio updates the 727 passenger and and the freighter version. This is going to be patch 1.0.9 plus patch 1 for the Boeing 727. And the patch notes, real high level here, guys. We have the fix the flight director not working when the autopilot is off, and they reworked the passenger exterior for easier painting. So for you model and livery creators. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 compatibility. Let's talk about that for a second. Flight Sim Studio has announced that a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 compatible freighter and passenger version is now downloadable via Contrail. Contrail is the app that is used in order to grab things, if I remember correctly, from Orbix? Maybe not Orbix. Anyway, requirements stated by Flight Sim Studio include the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 Sim Update 2 Beta, as it's not released yet, and prior Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 activation. So you have had to have purchased it from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and in which case, if you were on 2024 Sim Update 2 Beta, which I do recommend, it's come a long way. We'll talk about that in another video. Then you can download the aircraft from Contrail and use it in 2024. So a couple of steps there, but I actually am really glad that they built it around SU2. And again, because SU2 is really bringing a ton of performance enhancements in both VR 2D and just general overall user experience in 2024. So stay tuned for more information on that, again, as I said in a later video. But as always, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it useful. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.